Hello, it's Tuesday, December 15th, and this is your reading lesson. So, if you open your daily slides and you go to slide number 6, that has your reading slides on there. So, we'll go ahead and open those up. Your learning target is I can draw on specific details to analyze how the setting impacts a character. So, what that means is if if the setting is very light and happy, has a really nice, playful mood, the characters are probably going to be fun and playful. Okay. If you are walking through a haunted house, if a person in a story is walking through a haunted house, um, they're going to be scared and shy and timid, and they're going to be nervous. Okay. So the setting really does impact the way that a character behaves and the things that they do and things that they say. Now, we're not going to watch this video right now, but what I'm going to ask you to do is while you're watching this, when you get to this part, I want you to go ahead and pause me and watch this video, the Learn Zillion video. Here's the code if you need it. And then when you're finished watching it, you can come back. And of course, your assignment is in Google Classroom, and I'm going to go ahead and show that to you today. So, what you're going to be doing, I'm not giving you a teacher model for this one, okay? But what you're going to be doing is we've been talking about how the setting is the time and place and environment in a story. So, you're going to be reading this text, and then you're going to circle clues about the setting, time, place, environment in the text, okay? Then you're going to take those details that you circled and then explain it down here. So you'll tell me about the time it takes place, the place that it's happening, and then you'll also tell me about the environment. Okay? So I'll go ahead and read this little passage to you. It rained. It had been raining for 7 years. Thousands upon thousands of days compounded and filled from one end to the other with rain, with a drum and gush of water, with the sweet crystal fall of showers, and the concussion of storms so heavy they were tidal waves coming over the islands. 1,000 forests had been crushed under the rain and grown up 1,000 times to be crushed again. And this was the way of life forever on the planet Venus. And this was the schoolroom of the children of the rocket men and women who had come to a raining world to set up civilization and live out their lives. So you would go through that. You would find clues about time, place, and environment, circle them. And then in this text box, you're going to write those clues. You're going to type them. Now, you're doing something different with this text. You are circling the words of the children in the class in blue, and then you're going to circle their actions in yellow. Okay, so you're going to want to read it twice. Okay, once you're going to read it, and every time you see their words, the things that the children are actually saying, you're going to circle that in blue. Then you're going to read the text again, and you're going to look for their actions, the things that the kids actually do, and circle that in yellow. So I'll go ahead and read this to you. There was talk that her father and mother were taking her back to Earth next year. It seemed vital to her that they do so, though it would mean the loss of thousands of dollars to a family. And so the children hated her for all these reasons of big and little consequence. They hated her pale snow face, her waiting silence, her thinness, and her possible future. Get away, the boy gave her another push. What are you waiting for? Now, I know that those are words because they have quotation marks, so think about that. Then, for the first time, she turned and looked at him. And when she was waiting for it, and what she was waiting for in her eyes. Well, don't wait around here, cried the boy savagely. You won't see nothing. Her lips moved. Nothing, he cried. It was all a joke, wasn't it? He turned to the other children. Nothing's happening today, is it? They all blinked at him and then, understanding, laughed and shook their heads. Nothing, nothing. So again, you're going to circle the words of the children in the class in in blue, and then you'll circle the actions and things that they do in yellow. And you're going to repeat that process for this section. Okay, words in blue, actions in yellow. All a joke, said the boy, and seized her roughly. That means he grabbed her in a rough way. Hey, everyone, let's put her in a closet before the teacher comes. No, said Margot, falling back. They surged about her. That means that they surrounded her, caught her up and bore her, protesting and then pleading, and then crying back into a tunnel, a room, a closet, where they slammed and locked the door. So that means that they all grabbed her and then pushed her back through the tunnel and into that room, and then they put her in a closet while she was crying and screaming. So they all were doing that to her. They stood back, looking at the door, and saw it tremble from her beating and throwing herself against it. They heard her muffled cries. Then, smiling, they turned and went out and back down the tunnel, just as the teacher arrived. Now, again, you're not focusing on the words of Margot or the actions of Margot. You want to focus on the actions and words of the children. Now, here is where you're going to start looking at some multiple choice questions from the text. And just a reminder, you must do all the strategies or you're going to get this assignment returned and have to redo it. So here are the 2 questions that you're going to answer. And remember, you do have to find text evidence. So you're going to have to go back in here and look before you can actually answer those 2 questions. Now, an important thing here is that after this section, the setting of the story is actually changing a lot. Okay. So if you look back to the first page, you circle clues about the setting here and you describe the setting there. So now, as we move forward to page 7, you're going to do that same type of close reading again. So you're going to circle clues about time, place, and environment in this text, and then take what you circled and then put it down here in the category it belongs in. The sun came out. It was the color of flaming bronze, and it was very large. And the sky around it was blazing blue tile color. And the jungle burned with sunlight as the children, released from their spell, rushed out, yelling into the summertime. So find clues that have to do with time, place, and environment, which is your setting. Circle them and then type them in here. And again, this setting is very different from the first part. So here you're analyzing the actions of the children again, not Margot, the children. Circle the words of the children in blue. So those things that have quotation marks, those are words. And then their actions you're going to circle in yellow. The sun came out. It was the color of flaming bronze, and it was very large, and the sky around it was a blazing blue tile color. And the jungle burned with sunlight as the children, released from their spell, rushed out, yelling into the summertime. Now, don't go too far, called the teacher after them. You've only 1 hour, you know. You wouldn't want to get caught out. Now, these are words, but these are the teacher's words and not the kids. So make sure you understand that. But they were running and turning their faces up to the sky and feeling the sun on their cheeks like a warm iron. They were taking off their jackets and letting the sun burn their arms. Oh, it's better than the sun lamps, isn't it? Much, much better. And here, there are no words, but you're going to circle the actions of the children in yellow. So the things that they are doing. The children lay out, laughing on the jungle mattress, and heard it sigh and squeak under them, resilient and alive. They ran among the trees. They slipped and fell. They pushed each other. They played hide and seek and tag. But most of all, they squinted at the sun until the tears ran down their faces. But they put their hands up at the yellowness and that amazing blueness, and they breathed the fresh air and listened to the silence which suspended them in a blessed sea of no sound and no motion. They looked at everything and savored everything. When you savor something, that means that you just like take it in and you appreciate every little bit of it. Then, wildly, like animals escaped from their caves, they ran and ran in shouting circles. They ran for an hour and did not stop running. So, again, go back over that and circle the actions of the kids in yellow. Reminder, you're going to have 3 multiple choice questions. So you need to do all the strategies. And there are your questions. And that is the end of your assignment. Remember, if you don't do the strategies, you will get it returned to you. So I hope that this helps. And this is what you're doing today in reading.